Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I make this flower center. I actually have a video called Tiffany Flower where I make a flower called Tiffany Flower, and I do show you really quickly how I make this center, but not everybody sees that video, so I wanted to make a separate video. But I don't particularly like making flower centers. I don't know what it is about it, but they're necessary to complete your flower. So this is one simple flower center that I like to use. It has a great look, it's not difficult, and when you do it in gold or gold paper, it looks really good, and so you can add it to many different flowers. But I'll move this to the side. And so what I have here is 2 sheets of paper that's been cut with like a fringe in the middle, and it was one 12 by 12 piece, and I cut out a 6-inch strip and about a 4-inch strip. So you could do this with a pair of scissors if you have them. All you would do is just cut it down size and then fold your paper in half, and then take a pair of scissors and cut these lines individually. Similarly, you can also use an X-Acto knife and a ruler and some sort of grid, or you can use a paper cutter. I think they call it a bypass paper trimmer. I may be wrong, but it's where you leave it, you put the piece of paper in the trimmer, and then you have a little blade that goes up and down, so you can do that as well. It's a little more tedious. They do sell scissors, they call them herb scissors. I have 3 or 5 blades on them, and that way, using that pair of scissors, you can cut it a little bit faster. The reason why I don't particularly like using scissors is I'm impatient, and so the lines at the end just get completely off, and I just get frustrated. So I use my Silhouette Cameo, but you can definitely do this with a pair of scissors. You just need a little bit of patience. So what I'd like to do first is, with the smaller sheet, I want to fold it in half and crease it. I'm going to make sure it's nice and creased. And then I just glue both edges together, or both sides together. Alright, I'm going to set this aside for now. And with this larger one, I want to do the same thing where I'm folding it in half and creasing it. Again. But instead of gluing it perfectly flush, both sides perfectly flush, what I want to do is I want to glue it just a little bit higher than that. So what it would be is it would have a little bit of space. So I'm not gluing it edge to edge. I'm maybe a 1/4 inch, and what that does is it creates this sort of loop, a small little loop. Like that. So you'll see there's a little bit, so the bottom part's flat, but then there's like a little arc. So that's what happens when you don't glue it flush, and that's the look I'm going for here. So then going back to this piece, I like to sort of wiggle, just sort of manipulate the bottom where I glued, just because there's glue there now and it becomes really rigid. So I want it to roll nicely, so I like to just give it a bit of, just move it about. So this helps me roll later on because I want to have a nice tight roll for the center. So now I can start gluing. I just want to add a little bit of glue to start. And then I just start rolling. I add glue along the way, but I don't have to, you don't have to add glue to the entire strip. Alright, so now you have your center, and I like to fluff it up just a little. Alright, and then I will be gluing this together, and so the part that has the arc I want closest to the centerpiece. I could do it the other way too if I wanted. Flip it around, and I'll have that bend underneath if I wanted, but for this particular center I want it where the part that arcs is closest to where the center is. So there are many different ways to do it. You could just play around with different looks. So add a little bit of glue again. And let's just roll. Okay, and then the last bit of glue at the end. And I would just hold it and just wait until the glue cools down. Usually when I'm doing that, I'm also fluffing it up. So what you can do is just sort of bend these pieces back a little to fluff it up. And there you go. Thanks for watching.